Hello and welcome back to Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. That is a very that was a very abrupt cut. I apologize, but we're at the we're now at the last. This is the last episode, so have fun. I guess.
So it's the last episode. It's 17 minutes, but that also likely includes credits. How little gameplay are we going to see in this part?
We're gonna see the final. We're gonna see like the final boss.
Okay, so there is a final boss.
Yes.
Okay.
It's honestly, it's kind of annoying.
I mean, yeah, kind of, but I honestly really like it. As far as boss fights go in the Jak series, this is probably like my second favorite. My all-time favorite, obviously, is like Errol from Jak 3, and I really do think that the Metalhead leader in Jak 2 is way more annoying.
I still have never seen the Metalhead leader, so I don't really know what to say because I don't like Jak 2.
Well, don't you worry. I'm gonna suffer through it.
You poor soul.
Eh.
Wait, what are you talking about? We are going to suffer through it.
Well, I'm gonna be the one suffering the most because I'm gonna be the one playing.
Yeah, we get to look at you playing it. That also counts.
I love the fact that you did a little jig at getting all 2,000 Precursor orbs.
Because I was happy. Well, because I was happy to like complete this game like for the 1,000th time in a row. Not actually the 1,000th time, more like the 10th or something.
I was about to say 1,000 times. That seems like it would take a lot of time. At the same time,
That's speedrun time. That's speedrun length.
At the same time, hypothetically speaking, it would be possible to play a certain game 1,000 times. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I put my head down to it, I could play like Sonic Unleashed at least 100 times in this year. But I'm gonna be reasonable with my statements. I'm not gonna say like 1,000 times. I'm pretty sure that if I play a certain game 1,000 times, I should legally be required to get a new one.
And yeah, because you you pretty much just wore out the disc. Unless you play it digitally, then it's not worn out.
Well, in the case of Sonic Unleashed, it's a bit of both, because originally I had the game on the PS3. I still do, by the way, and I hold that disc very close to my heart. The doctor says it isn't healthy, but what goes on in my body is my concern. But when they announced it was going to be like FPS boost on the Xbox Series, even before I knew I was getting a series, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm buying the game digitally, and I even ended up purchasing all the DLC alongside it, even though the DLC... I wouldn't say the DLC is good or bad, it's just there.
Yeah. Honestly, why would there be DLC for Unleashed anyways? Didn't seem like a game that needed it.
It doesn't.
Extra stages.
Extra spikes.
I guess money.
Yeah. I mean, I do like how the climate of DLC back then was significantly different than it is nowadays. Because back then you could buy a game and no DLC and you'd have the complete experience. And the DLC would be something stupid like a tad more difficult stages, or one extra level, or horse armor. But nowadays, like the season pass is so like, let's be real, most games that come out nowadays have a season pass.
Because they're all live service. Because everything's a live service now.
Not even because of live service, but just because it's the nature of things. And I do appreciate that a lot of games nowadays are getting extra game for those who want it. at the same time,
Jesus
you
Christ.
do have to ask the question.
And welcome to why I don't like this boss fight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you do have to ask the question of if they designed extra game, or if they took game from game and sold it as DLC for the game. Which is kind of the question a lot of people ask with Ubisoft games nowadays. Because last year, when Assassin's Creed Mirage came out, they effectively put it out as a budget title. So 50 euros or $50, that was fine and all. But then they started adding DLC to the game, and there is a $100 version. However, from what I understand, most of the additional items are only cosmetic, or like a treasure map. So the $100 version doesn't really add anything to the game, in my opinion. But then that kind of has something to do with the with how the micropayments will be working in different Assassin's Creed titles, and those kind of micropayments weren't there in Mirage, but they were featured as DLC, so maybe that has something to do with it.
I heard talk recently that Ubisoft is going to be bought out by Tencent, and I'm like, no!
If that
Do not!
if that happens,
That's
I'm
it.
gonna. I don't even care. I'm gonna burn my Ezio collection for Switch.
You're going to burn your Ezio collection. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Like if Tencent is going to be in charge of Assassin's Creed, I'm no longer an Assassin's Creed fan. But no, just to give a bit of a brief explanation to what I was just saying. Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, they had like this in-game store where you could purchase Helix tokens, which were, well, effectively micropayments, and you could buy stuff like additional costumes or XP boosters. So your money and experience gain would be plus 50%. You could buy different weapons, horse armor. Yeah, kind of oddly enough, you could also buy horse armor.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, Mirage also had a similar store, but they didn't have the Helix. They didn't have the Helix credit system. So they just listed it as regular DLC, which originally, or in the previous games, wasn't the case. So that's kind of how it works, and that's why.
And the game's beaten.
Nice.
Yep. You just need to basically wait till you can grab one piece of light eco, and then you can totally just kill Gal and Maya.
Wow.
And yeah. As for the boss fight itself, it's fine. It's way better than Claw from like half this playthrough ago, but yeah.
Did they just submerge a butt plug?
Yes.
that was the head of the robot.
That was
the head of the robot.
The head of the robot looks a lot like looks like a fucking butt plug. Yes.
Fascinating.
But Daxter,
E for everyone, right?
change you back.
Yep.
Worry about me, baby. You know
I know that.
You know what? No, yeah, I mean they aren't there. The developers weren't named Naughty Dog for nothing.
Jack,
Yeah.
have an incredible
You know that some of them are probably using butt plugs.
Samos, you may have been right about this one after all.
You know, here,
Literally everyone.
you know, here's a fun game. When we see the credits, look at the name, which is most likely to be using a butt plug.
We found another sage. Now that
No.
Uh-huh.
yes, call and mark
Okay,
up.
real quick, I want to say something. The red sage makes alludes to Kiera becoming a sage.
can take him again.
They do literally nothing with that until Lost Frontier.
Wow. Put it on ice, big guy.
Like
Dick
literally,
move, Daxter.
Wow.
like literally nothing with that plot point until Lost Frontier, and it's like, why?
I mean, to be fair, it was developed by like old Naughty Dog and Insomniac devs.
True, but it's like I really do wish that we could have gotten like what the original plan for Jak 2 was, because I'll be honest, I don't think it was originally going to be GTA. I really do not think it was going to be GTA.
It didn't sound like it was going to. I'm kind of curious on that as well, but it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
True.
So anyway, that was Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. What'd you guys think?
I'll let Edgy give his thoughts since he's still new
Well,
to the
to
series.
be fair, like, looking at this, I know I'm going to, like, piss a lot of people off, but here's the thing. When I started playing video games, I played games on the Wii, and the Wii was... Oh shit, Kevin Conroy was in this game.
I keep forgetting.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that that was Kevin Conroy's The Fisherman. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, rest in
when
peace, by the way.
But when I started playing games, I was already a generation ahead of this game, and I did play a lot of, well, I guess I could call them Jak and Daxter-like games. I played a lot of, you know, movie tie-in games, and most of the time those were platformers. So,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I played this particular game before, but if I play this game, I feel like I'm going to cover a lot of familiar grounds, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure this is probably a great game. I don't feel the need to play it for myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Honestly, yeah. I think this is the weakest series Naughty Dog has done as a whole, all three games.
Yeah, I agree.
This game suffers a lot from what people did not like about Crash 1. Way too obnoxious level design.
That being, yeah.
And that being said, the save feature is way fucking better than Crash 1's. Because in this game, it's every time you get a power cell.
Well, yeah, and also you could just save whenever you want to in this game.
Yeah, that too. But it's like this feels like a step backward from Crash 3.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this was like a new series for Naughty Dog, so
Well, not only
they didn't
only
really-
a new
they-
series, but it was also on a new console. So I'm assuming that understanding
True.
the basics of PS2 programming would also be part of the like overall game development.
yeah.
Oh no, it actually runs perfectly well. There is no real slowdown. I'm not trying to say that. In terms of game mechanics and level design, it feels like a step backward from Crash 3. And sadly, compared to Crash, Jak does not get the good stuff until the third game.
Yeah.
When Crash, it was the second game, Cortex Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I will tend to agree that as in terms of like series from Naughty Dog, Jak is definitely the weakest. But that being said, this game in the series I think is the strongest in the series, followed by Jak 3, of course.
I would honestly say Jak 3 is the strongest of the three. It's 3, 1, 2 in my opinion.
Well, I can't wait till we get to 3 when we have a field day with that shit.
Yeah.
Literally, well, I would say more
Just
like
as long as you're not going for all the Precursor orbs in 3.
Well, if you're playing a platformer,
yeah.
what's the point of playing a platform if you're not going for 100% completion?
Edgy, you have no idea. You have no idea.
I played Crash Bandicoot.
The other two.
I've got some ideas.
No, like
Oh god, no. Oh god, no. No. Jack 3 is way worse than Crash 4. Jack 3 is way worse than Crash 4.
Well, in terms of collecting
well,
shit,
actually, I shouldn't
anyways.
say worse. Jack 3 is about the same as Crash 4. Jack 3 is about the same as Jack 4.
And besides, going through the games going through the games normally is still like a decent amount of time, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, especially considering how in Jacks 2 and 3, Precursor orbs are not the main collectible. You get in 2, you get them from completing side missions. In 3, they're hidden around levels. They are hidden around in certain levels in 2, but it's way better done in 3. And there are also mini games that you have to get each ranking of bronze, silver, and gold in order to get all of the orbs from a mini
Okay,
game.
so a different example. Would it be as painful as getting all the memory tokens in Sonic Frontiers?
Kind of.
Well, because I did that. And I still haven't played Sonic Frontiers since the DLC came out.
Kinda.
Yes, yeah, I would say kinda.
But the difference between like Sonic Frontiers or Unleashed and Jak and Daxter is that in Jak in Jaks 2 and 3 they're completely optional, and you don't
And
have
they
to.
just do cheats.
And they just give you cheats.
Right.
Whereas in Unleashed and Generations, well, not, and whereas in Unleashed,
What
the
pose
medals,
is Jack doing for that? What is that pose that he is doing for that?
He's doing the squats.
It's
doing
it's
some
a
exercise.
combination of squatting and man spreading.
Man
God.
squatting.
Squat spreading.
Man squatting, actually. That's it's a. By the way, if you don't get all the power cells before
You don't
beating the
get
final
this
boss,
cutscene.
you don't get. Well, I mean, you get this cutscene, but you don't get a scene where Daxter says, "We have 100 power cells."
Wait.
He just
Yep.
instead he just complains and goes, "Ah, here we go again."
Okay, so did it cut out? Did it really just cut out there?
Yes.
No, I mean,
Yes, it's sequel baiting.
it cuts out to the title screen, but like I cut it to where it doesn't happen because the power of editing. Ooh.
Yeah, it's sequel baiting. It's
Okay.
sequel baiting. We only see what that is at the beginning of Jak 2.
And at least we got a sequel.
Well, I mean,
True.
to be fair, on
Then,
the PlayStation, you were most likely to get a sequel. At least back in the day. Nowadays, it's kind of up in the air. Like I'm still waiting for Days Gone 2. Just kidding, I'm not. But I am holding out for a remaster. Just kidding, I'm not. I said I'm not. Sony, no. What are you doing?
Too late, you're getting it.
Fuck.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it will be because of what a whiner the director.
I think it was either the director or one of the developers of
Yeah.
Days Gone. That was
Yeah.
that just got all whiny and pissy about. I can't even remember what it was he said,
Yeah.
but it was bizarre. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
don't-
like that's honestly killed any chance of that getting a sequel or a remaster.
Yeah.
and it was because it was because Days Gone was featured in Astrobot that he got
Yeah.
pissy about it, and like
Yeah.
it's a celebration of PlayStation as a brand, and you're
Yeah, they
complaining
could've
about
just
Days Gone
ignored your
being in
game.
Astrobot.
You could have just ignored your game.
They could have just ignored your game, but they didn't.
I mean,
so-
hell, Persona 3 Reload gets a call out
I
to
thought
that.
Persona 5 was the one
Yeah,
getting a
and-
reference.
5 may have one. I've only seen Aegis Astrobot.
Right. Well, okay, to be...
So
Yeah,
4
fair.
and 5 might
Okay,
have
to be
but
fair,
I haven't seen
I guess
it.
is kind of a shoe-in.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I mean-
Aegis. I always everyone loves.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Aegis, not Aegis. Astrobot is what would happen when Aegis and E from Wally would fuck. Or I guess if they
I
would
mean-
merge their robotic DNA, if they would stripe their hard drives, if you know what I'm saying. And yes, I do believe that Aegis
if-
runs on a hard drive.
If they like run on like Windows 11 or something.
No, 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 no. Look, you have to realize Persona 3 came out in 2006, right? So it would make sense for Aegis to be running on Windows XP, but she was probably running a beta for Windows Vista. That's all.
Fair enough. And besides, a lot of people really like Robot Girl anyways.